Hey everyone, Danny here over at Into Fly Fishing, and we are back with another affordable fly rod review. Today we're taking a look at the Redington Crosswater. So this is the 9-foot 5-weight model of this rod, and we did purchase it ourselves, so there is no bias heading into this review at all. And if it is something that you would like to purchase, the link is in the description below. But we saw that it had good reviews on Amazon. About 100 people rated it around 4.5 stars, and we wanted to see if it was worth the hype. So we're going to take a deep dive into this rod, and make sure you stay tuned and enjoy the video. So let's start with the action. Now, the Redington Crosswater is a medium fast action rod. And after casting it, spending a couple days with it, I would definitely say it's a bit more on the medium side. But I was surprised at how well it held its own in some of those more challenging fishing conditions, which we'll get into later. So I think it's a really versatile rod. That medium fast action means it can do all sorts of different things. You can fish all sorts of different flies. I tested it with streamers, nymphs, and dries, and I found that it did well with all aspects and all different types of flies. So as mentioned earlier, this is the 9-foot 5-weight model. Now this weighs about 3.9 ounces, so it is a bit on the heavier side for a 9-foot 5-weight, but me personally, I'm a fan. I like a heavier rod. I feel like I have more control and I can do more with it. Some of those extremely light 3.2, 3.3, 3.4 ounce rods, to me, can feel just a little bit out of control at times. So it's a bit on the heavier side, but I think that helps all different types of anglers. So let's talk quality and build materials. So this rod is made with performance graphite, and it is anodized all the way from the top to the bottom. So this reel seat is anodized, the guides, everything. So it's ready for all different types of water that you're hoping to fish. And the locking system on the reel, I found, even though it's not a double lock, it's a bit thicker of a lock, so it held my reel in place. There was no shake when I was stripping. I didn't feel the reel moving around or anything along those lines. The cork is AAA quality, so it's definitely a bit on the smaller side, but I found that it was comfortable for a full day on the water. Even when my hands were wet and sweaty, no issues at all. I was plenty comfortable. And the guides all hold up well. There's a bit of give in them. Not a ton, but their quality, I never had any issues. I don't anticipate any issues. And I found that they do everything that I ask of them. Now, there are just sometimes rods that you use that you just love to cast. Even if it's an affordable rod that you never thought you would love, and maybe you feel like you shouldn't because it's not one of those high performance rods, but this was one of those rods for me. As soon as I started casting it, I just felt the rhythm and just the feel of it was everything that I like about a fly rod. It was a bit more on the heavier side. That medium fast was just that nice combination of sensitive yet powerful. And I was hitting my casts the first day I tried it. There was no wind at all. I was hitting 60, 70 foot casts pretty easily. And I didn't even need much in terms of back casts and shooting the line. When I got into the wind, however, I found that there was a decent amount of shake with the rod tip once I was fishing and casting beyond 40-ish feet. I found that my fly line was shaking at the release, and then that would cause my fly to be off just a little bit. But on a calm day or those casts, even on a windy day within 40 feet, I was hitting everything. I was just casting this for fun because I loved how good it felt. And I was shocked for just being an entry-level rod. I didn't know what to expect, and man, this really exceeded my expectations for casting. So let's talk recovery rate. So again, that medium fast action, you never know quite what you're going to get. Is it going to be more medium? Is it going to be more fast? I felt like it was a bit more medium, but it definitely wasn't a true medium action rod. It still had some of those fast tendencies, and I'm not an overly aggressive caster, so that's why I think it fit me well. I like to take a little bit of my time, but I still like to add some power when I need to. So it recovered really nicely, better than I think some of those really stiff fast action rods. I think it's that sweet spot right in the middle. So for line control, you never know what you're going to get with an entry-level rod. Sometimes it feels like you're trying to move a pitchfork around with a line at the end of it, hoping to get everything in place. This one was really quite sensitive. I felt like every single time I would do something new with this rod, it was up for the challenge. So as I was casting throughout the day, I was getting tired and my casts just weren't what I wanted them to be. But the mends that I had to do, some of those bigger mends or even just little small mends, it was able to just go with me. Wherever I screwed up, it was there to pick me up. And it just responded well. It responded quickly. It didn't mend and then it went. It was just all one motion. And the faster water I was fishing, around 900 CFS, it kept up, and I was able to make my way around the water with my mends and presentation and all those things, and it worked out really well. So what fish species should you target with the Redington Crosswater? Personally, I think you're best off targeting trout and panfish. Yes, it's a 9'5" weight, but it's not an overly powerful 9'5" weight. If you're going for smaller bass, maybe smaller carp, you could get away with it. Since it is such a sensitive rod, it would work well in some of those situations. But I wouldn't push it beyond that. It's definitely not as beefy as some other 5 weights that you would fish with. And I found that the trout, 12, 15, 18-inch trout, perfect. It's right in that sweet spot there. It's a fun fight, but doesn't drag on too long that you end up harvesting the fish. So the target water, this is a dream for streams, smaller and more medium-sized rivers, because you can make your cast, you can mend, it becomes one with you as you're fishing it. It would work well on ponds and even smaller lakes, but I think this really is at home on those more small, medium-sized rivers. So for the warranty, Redington does offer a 1-year warranty on any manufacturer errors. So anything that you do that might break it, whether you slam it in a car door, you snap it if you're snagged, or you're trying to set the hook hard, as long as it was a user error, you're not covered. And if it's a manufacturer error, it's only a 1-year warranty. So do keep that in mind. So let's talk price. I think price is what sets this rod apart from many other entry-level rods, because depending on a sale, you can get this rod anywhere from $60 to $100. For an entry-level rod, that is cheap, especially a reputable, good quality one. 100% worth the price. You are going to love this rod regardless of the skill you have or the type of angler you are. Now, who is this rod for? Beginners would love this rod because it's easy to manage. It's just a joy to cast, and a joy to mend with, a joy to do everything with. So beginners are going to love it, have no trouble at all with it. And anglers just looking for a fun backup trout rod, don't look any further than this, because you will just find yourself just having fun on the water, casting this, testing it. So, hey, can I hit that spot 20 feet across? There's 3 separate currents going in the river. Can I hit that spot, mend it, get it to where I want? You can, and that's the beauty of it. For such an affordable price, you can't find a rod that's going to perform better than this. So for $100, you're going to find this rod is built to last, and it's just a blast to use. So beginner, intermediate, advanced, looking for a backup rod, looking for a new rod, looking for a rod to give to somebody who may just be looking to get into fly fishing, the Redington Crosswater is the ideal option. Again, the link to purchase this rod is in the description below, so check that out if it's something that you want. And stay tuned for more affordable fly fishing rod reviews coming your way. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.